Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. This is my first video on this channel. I had another channel that was connected to like my personal account, and I just decided I didn't want that, and I kind of just wanted to start over. So now I have my personal account as the one that I just watch YouTube videos on and do whatever on, and this one is going to be the one that I actually attempt to post on and do things with. So my name is Victoria. I'm 24 years old. I live in the Midwest. My life's been rather chaotic for the last 2 years in specific. Everybody's life has been a little bit chaotic for the last 3 years or so. And yeah, I made this video, channel. I can talk. Sorry, it's the end of the day on a Friday. I made this channel. I entitled it ADHD Planning and Budgeting because I have ADHD. And if anybody else has ADHD, you know that planning and budgeting tend to not be our fortes. I used to be really into planning, especially in college. Budgeting has always been something that I've been very good at, surprisingly. But I think it comes from my parents not managing money the best, and I started off as a finance major in college. So money has always been something that I've been really good at. Planning, I used to be really into, and then sort of fell off the wagon with, everything the last couple years. But I need to get it together, specifically because I'm trying to buy a house in the next 5 months. So we need to get it together. In case anybody wants to know, the nails on my hands are from the dollar store. The rings, this one is from Amazon, I know that. The infinity is from my grandma. This one I bought myself. This one is from my other grandma. This one is a memorial ring for the grandma that owned this one. And the little silver one my best friend gave me. I have a couple tattoos matching with my one best friend, matching with my other one. This one says the motto, "Let them." And then I have this one. This one's probably my favorite one that I have. It says, "Her darkness was beautifully fatal." Probably should get it touched up, but this one's probably my favorite. I have another one on my upper arm and another one on the back of my shoulder. This binder and a lot of the things that I have in it probably came from Meijer, to be completely honest. If you don't know what Meijer is, it's a store in the Midwest. Grocery store. You can buy clothes, you can buy makeup, kind of similar to Walmart. Just Midwest version, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, so I figured in this video I would kind of explain where I've been, where I am, and where I'm trying to go. This binder is my budget binder for right now. Honestly, my budgeting system changes. My exact system stays the same. What I use to document it changes. I've been using the cash envelope system for probably like 5+ years now. Life happens, so I've been very successful, and then there's times where I haven't been successful. I was debt-free except for my student loans and a mortgage at the end of 2020, and then 2021 happened. I had to max out all of my credit cards. I still had the mortgage. I got a brand new car, and I still have my student loans. And now I have since sold that house. I sold it almost a year ago, or no, like a year and 2 months ago, I think. Still have the car, still have the student loans, and I'm trying to pay off the maxed out credit cards. So let's just take a gander at this binder that I have kind of set up. Funny story, I hate the color pink, but I love silver, and this is just like amazing to me. So this is just a montage of pens. I have some outliners, profile ballpoints, a zebra pen, and some highlighters. I decided to divvy this up by what I wanted to put in each category. My favorite dividers are the silver one and the dark gray one. This one in particular, like my favorite. So the categories that I have are goals, year at a glance, yearly budget, monthly budgets, transaction log, paycheck budgets, envelope balances, debt, savings, and cash envelopes. So basically, In 2020, I got engaged. I adopted a dog, which if you just heard a clink, that's her tags. Got engaged, adopted a dog, bought a house. Things were going really, really great. Paid off one of my student loans because I didn't really know what was going to happen with them yet, and I was still on my debt-free journey. So I paid off one of my student loans. Everything was great. Started a new job in February of 2021, and then Mother's Day of 2021, everything went downhill. To not get into too much detail, I was with somebody else and everything went downhill. I've been single for 2 years now. Still trying to recover from everything that happened, but basically I ended up moving out of the house that I had owned. I got an apartment for about 6 months. After I got that apartment, I was paying both my rent. Oh my goodness, that was my dog. I was paying for both my rent, a mortgage, all my bills, trying to keep my head above water. And then I finally sold that house in the beginning of 2022. And ever since then, I've just been trying to make it, and I am trying to buy a house again because Butters, which is my dog, deserves a yard, and I would rather be paying in equity what I'm paying in rent, because right now my rent is more than my mortgage on my house was. So that's what we're trying to do. I'm currently a mortgage underwriter, so buying a house is something I know a lot about. I work with it every single day. So basically, I ended up racking up a bunch of debt from having to pay for the house and my apartment and all of the things. So at one point, I had a line of credit from Huntington that I had maxed out. I had a loan from my uncle that I had maxed out, and I have maxed out all 3 of my credit cards. I have a Chase Amazon one, I have a Discover, and I have one with my credit union because I used to work at a credit union. And at one point I had all of those maxed out. I paid back my uncle first. I did end up getting money back from that person that I was with that owed me a bunch of money. I didn't get all of the money back, but I got some, and I just let it be. Basically, after I paid my uncle back, I stopped asking for more money. So I paid him back, paid off the Huntington because I wanted that one closed, then paid off my Chase card, and now I'm working on my Discover card. Excuse me, and my credit union credit card. My student loans, I am not paying until I have to. My car is a lease, so I'm not currently trying to pay ahead on that or anything. And then I am trying to get a mortgage. So what I ended up doing was for the first couple months of this year, heavily went towards debt. And then starting at the beginning of April, everything is now going towards my house, because a lot of the expenses that come with a house, the EMD, the insurance, the appraisal I could do on a credit card, but I don't want to because I would like to go FHA if I can for my financing. And I need to pay that with cash. But like a lot of the things with a house, at least for the beginning of the house process, I need actual cash for. I know and understand that I might have to put myself back into a little bit more credit card debt in order to make all of this happen, but I would be willing to do that. The houses that I'm looking at, the payments are going to be way less than my rent. It's going to give me a little bit more space, get me back up by my family, and that's something that's worth more to me right now than staying where I'm at. My goal is to not put myself in any more debt. My goal is to actually get down payment assistance, except for the mortgage itself. But my goal is to get down payment assistance to help with my cash to close, and then be able to use all of the cash that I have saved for actually moving. I don't want to spend a dime other than my EMD, if I give one, my appraisal, and my insurance, as far as the mortgage itself goes. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't want to pay a dime. I only want to spend money on boxes if I have to, renting the trailer, movers if I do movers, or my friends if I can get them to help me. I do have a lot of people up where I'm moving, so I should be able to get people to help me. Excuse me. and then like new locks and like stuff like that. Like I don't want to pay for the mortgage itself, but I'm willing to pay for moving. So that's what I'm trying to do. I ended up getting a raise in February of about 77 cents per hour. I don't really know what the percentage is, but that's been doing really well for me. I don't currently pay for insurance. I am still on my parents' health insurance, and I don't have dental or vision right now. That's a whole story. My phone bill is still paid for by my parents. I'm very, very thankful for that. Eventually I do want to start paying them for that, but they are very well aware of my situation. In fact, without them, I probably wouldn't have gotten out of everything that I got out of. I only pay for me and my dog. I don't have any children. I don't have a significant other. I'm not responsible for anybody else. I don't go out. I don't eat out. I don't spend money on anything that's not a necessity. I'm going really, really hard for this house right now. So let's take a look at this binder. So the first tab that I have is goals. I made the first 5 of these at the beginning of the year and then figured out that I accomplished a couple of them too quickly and I needed more. So the first one was move my emergency fund to a high yield savings account, because for some reason I kept not doing that. Finally did that. My second goal was get at least 1 bonus from my work. Excuse me again. I did that in February. My third goal was pay off my Chase credit card. Also did that in February. My fourth goal is a $100 buffer in my checking account. Right now I have about a $73 buffer, so I'm working on getting to that 100. And I know that's low for a lot of people, but for me, I have my bills, like I know my bills so well that like nothing's gonna come out that I don't know about. And if it does, it won't be for more than what I have in my account. Number 5 is buy a house in September of 2023. That's like the main Shazam right now. And then I added a couple others. My emergency fund to 400. Right now it's only at 350. I should be able to do that as soon as I get that $100 buffer. I'm just gonna start transferring the buffer that I would leave from my check towards my emergency fund. Save a $500 EMD by July 1st. I already did that. I did that in March. And then total credit card debt to $4,500 before purchasing my house. I believe that I'll be able to do that one. I know that technically, like when you're doing cash envelopes or whatever, a lot of people think that you do like the Dave Ramsey method. I did start out with that, but I don't agree with a lot of it. I do agree that it is good to pay down your consumer debt, but like a mortgage to me isn't something that's bad. Like, yes, I do want to own my house free and clear at one point, but having a mortgage, most people can't save up enough in today's day and age to buy a house cash. So like having a mortgage to me isn't a problem. Having a car note, not necessarily an issue for me. I don't know a lot about cars and I don't know how to fix them. And having a lease where everything is brand new and the only things that I'm paying for is oil changes, tire rotations, maybe a new set of brakes, maybe, and then like the filters and stuff. I would rather do that than panic when something needs to be done to my car or to get an older car and have things go wrong. For a long, long time, I didn't have a reliable car, and that is something, that peace of mind for me is worth the payment. So right now I'm working on the $100 buffer. The house one is probably just going to be a continuous until I get it, and then we'll start working on the other 2. The next tab that I have, which is my least favorite color, is Year at a Glance. So this is just a list of my bills when they come out, birthdays, holidays, and like yearly or semi-annual expenses that I have to pay for. So I have all of my bills, I have all of my birthdays, I have holidays, and then I have expenses. The expenses for me right now are minimal. It's oil changes, car tags, and then for Butters, her annual vet visit, and her flea, her tick, and her heartworm. For birthdays, I don't do anything for anybody's birthday right now. Everybody knows where I'm at. Everybody knows that if you want me to show up somewhere, somebody's gonna buy my food or my drink for me. And that sounds very, very selfish and me, and I don't mean it that way at all. What I mean is, like for my family, I would gladly show up at somebody's house and make dinner, make food, whatever, celebrate. But if my family decides to go out and they want me to be there, they're all well aware of what I'm doing and that I don't have it in my budget to go out to eat. And so if I go out, somebody offers to pay for me. If nobody can pay for me, then I don't go. which is extreme to a lot of people, but I was put in a very bad situation and I'm getting myself out of that situation. I have food at home, I can cook, I can bake. There's a lot of things that you can do to enjoy your time with people that don't have to include going out. But my grandparents are older, my parents are older. If they all decide that they want to go out and that's the way they want to do it, that's fine. Somebody will usually pay for me. I don't get anything expensive. I just get food and a water or a pop. I don't expect anybody to buy anything else for me, but that's just what I do. Eventually, I do want to get to the point where I can go places and do things and give people money or presents for their birthdays, but I'm just not there right now. And to me, that's okay. The next section that I have, which this is one of my favorites, look at the sparkle, is yearly budget. So before I show you this, know that it is weird and it is not going to make sense to anybody except for me. I modeled my budget after the first person that I watched do cash envelopes, which was, I think at the time, Alyssa Nicole Budgets. Maybe. I might have that way wrong. I don't know. She's the first person that I watched do it and split her bills in half, because technically one of my paychecks alone will not cover my rent or my car payment. No, correction. One of my paychecks will cover my car payment, which is half of the check, but one of my checks will not cover my rent. I need 1.5 checks to cover my rent. So I get paid weekly. I divide everything by 4 or 5. The way that I used to do it when I got paid bi-weekly was divide everything by 2, or maybe 3 if it was a month with an extra paycheck. So this is going to look insane, and it's fine. The way that I do this is I write down in order my bills, my paydays, all of that. Between the bill and the next time the bill is due, I divide it by however many paychecks are in between. So for example, March, I had 5 paychecks. That meant my rent for April got divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It works best for me. It doesn't make sense to a lot of people, and I'm totally fine with that. I don't expect it to make sense to anybody. But yeah, so I do, right now I only have through September, because I know that my bills are going to change shortly thereafter. And yeah, I know it looks like a lot, but it works for me. My next section is monthly budgets. Monthly budgets really aren't my thing, because I budget by paycheck, not by month, but I'm kind of intrigued to start seeing like monthly how much I make versus how much actually goes out. So I did my budgeted section for April. So I have my estimated income, which is just my straight hourly, times 40 minus all the taxes for the whole month of 4 paychecks. All of my bills, what I budget for them, all of my variable expenses, what I budget for them, the totals, and then what I should have remaining. So according to this, at the end of the month, I should have $147.36 extra. And then when we're done with April, I'll do the actual, I'll figure out the variances, and I think it'll be just interesting to take a look, even though technically like the money for these bills comes from the month before, but I still think it'll be interesting to look at. I also think it'll be helpful in months where there are other things that I have to pay for. Like July, for example, I have to pay for my oil change, Butter's yearly vet appointment, and I feel like it'll be interesting to see like what I've budgeted versus what I actually have to spend for things like that. The next section is transaction logs. I am awful at tracking what I actually spend. So like groceries, household, gas, dog food, electric. Well, electric technically does get tracked, but groceries, household, dog food are all things that I pay for in cash, and I don't keep track very well. But my goal is to start keeping track of all my transactions. So I have my key. Basically, I have monthly bills, variable expenses, debt, sinking funds, necessary unbudgeted, and unnecessary unbudgeted. So monthly bills, things like rent, car payment, Spotify, Hulu, those are the only 2 subscriptions I have that are not a bill. Variable expenses are like gas, laundry, household, dog food. Debt is like any credit card, any student loan. My car payment counts as a debt. Sinking funds are anything that I spend that came from a sinking fund. So I have my car tags in a sinking fund. I have my oil change in a sinking fund. I have Butter's vet in a sinking fund. Necessary unbudgeted is things that come up that I have to pay for, but were unbudgeted. So for example, I owed money on my taxes. That's not something that I budgeted for, but that's something that I had to pay, and that was necessary but unbudgeted. Unnecessary unbudgeted is things like, you know, if I do decide to get McDonald's, because I'm not perfect, if I decide to get McDonald's, if I decide to spend a couple more bucks at the grocery store on something that's not groceries or household, that's something that's not necessary and it's not budgeted. But I'm probably going to start keeping track in May. I'm going to try to fill out April, see if I can do it. But I don't know, because obviously I haven't done anything yet. Next section, I do like this color purple, is my paycheck budgets. So this looks a little chaotic, I know. Every time I get paid, I start with my paycheck and I go down until I get to zero. I do a zero-based budget. And then from there, I started to keep a lot less cash on hand because I wanted to get the interest off my high yield savings accounts and just not keep as much cash in my apartment. So anything that's highlighted in green is something that I transfer to my Huntington savings for bills. Anything in red, I transfer to Capital One, which is my high yield savings. Anything in gray, I just leave in my checking, and anything in blue is something that I do pull out in cash. It looks chaotic, but to me it makes sense. I do stuff everything with prop money though, so if you guys do see cash envelope stuffing videos, it's still a cash envelope stuffing. It's just the real money is in the bank. Alrighty, this gross pink color. Envelope balances. At the end of every stuffing, I fill this out, and I like to kind of see where things go. I do have my accounts in here as well, so like, actually, let me write this in real quick. It's not going to be the same color, but that's okay. 74. So like, has all of my cash envelopes, has my retirement account, has my checking, my savings, like everything that just has money in it. My debt section, so basically what this is going to be is a debt check-in at the beginning and the end of every month to see where I'm at. Same thing with savings. I don't think I have filled out savings yet. I did not. I might not be able to fill this out because I don't know what I was at the beginning of April. I will know where I'm at the end of April and the beginning of May, but I'll just have to see. And then I have a master list of cash envelopes. I have a lot of cash envelopes. Now, the main reason I have them is because I have ADHD and I will forget things. So I have a lot of envelopes for things that I know that I'm going to need eventually, I want eventually, or just random things that I want to save for, that I want to be able to do or spend or whatever. So I have my wallet, I have my monthly bills, I have my savings and my accounts that are like checking savings. I have like 2 Chase accounts. I have a credit union account just so that I can know like what I have. I have my house binder for the house that I'm saving for, annual sinking funds, things that come up once that I have to pay for, regular sinking funds, medical, dental, birthdays, holidays. I have my Butters envelope that has all the things that I need for her. I have my car envelope with car tags, oil changes, things that I want to get for my car. I have a furniture sinking fund full of things that I either need to get, want to get eventually, or just don't have. I have electronic sinking funds for things like security cameras, a new phone, Xbox, PlayStation, things that I don't have that I want. I have a random sinking funds. It has vacation, tattoos, Amazon Prime checks because I don't own any and I feel like I should get them, at least to have on hand. A speaker, a humidifier, cash envelopes, DVDs. And then at the top here, I've listed other ones that I want to add. So yeah. So this is going to be my budget binder. I really, really like this. This is my budget binder for now. Mark my word, it will change. I started off trying to do all of this on my iPad, did that for a little while, had a spiral notebook, got annoyed with that. I did a binder like this last year for a little bit. I changed it up, but I do the same thing. So like the way that I budget, like the yearly budget that you guys saw, this part, this stays the same. Just where I put it changes. For planning, I'll do a separate video on that. But yeah, this is my first video. If you guys liked it, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm not gonna edit these. I'm not gonna cut things out unless like something weird happens or like my phone rings or whatever. But I'm just gonna upload them and post them, take you guys on this journey with me to buying a house. Soon here I'll be doing my budget for the house and trying to figure all of that out. And then my plan is to do, I get paid every week, so a budget video every week, a cash envelope stuffing every week, the monthly budget, probably a weekly check-in with that transaction log. I'm really gonna try to start doing that so I can see like actually where my money's going. And then probably a monthly debt and savings update at least once, if not twice a month. And yeah, and then I'll come through with planning videos as well. My goal is to do a monthly planning video and then a weekly planning video every week. We'll see if I can keep to that, because planning is where I fall short a lot of the times. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.